Hi guys, Redneck Wannabe here. Hope all is well today. So I am not going to ever claim to be an expert at anything, but there's one thing that I absolutely know, and that is people need more money, and there's a lot of people out there hurting. So let's talk about money today. What you're looking at right here, this was my garden last year, and in those beds right there, the top four, I had a Cherokee purple heirloom tomato, and then down here I had eggplant and peppers, and last year I tried experimenting with what was called a pepino, which didn't do very well, so I don't know what it really, kind of looked like a tiger striped egg. That's the one that came up, but it was not very good, so I don't know what I did wrong there. And then over here I had squash. I had a bunch of squash. I think I had 24 plants. And I'm going to try to stay out of the wind because it's a really windy day. Here I had some cucumbers. And then I pulled those up and I planted what was called a Tigger melon, which, if you can imagine a softball that is yellow and gold striped like a tiger, that's what that was. And then back there I had cucumbers. So I estimated, well, let's just go through the season. So for these four beds right there with Cherokee tomatoes, I had, we harvested enough tomatoes for our family and to freeze some. So we didn't have just a tremendous, prolific plants, but they were really good. So I added up some numbers, and this was going back looking at last year's garden journal. So if I would have taken all of those tomatoes and sold them at a farmer's market, I would have come out with, I want to say, almost $500 in tomatoes. The squash here, same deal. Very, very prolific. Squash until June, July, somewhere right in there. And then I got overrun by squash bugs, so that went the squash. But the same thing here. If I would have taken the squash and zucchini that I had here and taken it to a local farmer's market and sold it, I estimate, and I'm being conservative, I'm not saying, you know, this isn't pie in the sky numbers, but conservative numbers, I would have had about $500 in sales just in zucchini and squash. Now, like I said, I pulled them up in, I think it was June or July, and I planted some tomatoes, some more Cherokee tomatoes, and they just, you know, I think the summer heat just didn't do well. So this bed was essentially idle. And then here I left the tomatoes till, I don't know, August, and then I planted carrots, broccoli, kale, lettuce, and all that. And I'm still working on my fall garden, so that didn't do very well at all. You know, we had a couple meals out of it, and that was it. So out of those two beds, let's just say $1,000. These Tigger melons were prolific. I think I had 2 vines, and they were all over the place. And again, imagine a softball, yellow and orange striped, and I estimate if I would have taken those melons to the farmer's market and sold them, I probably could have got $2 a piece. Now they weren't a great melon, they weren't a sweet melon, but you know, they were okay. But I think it was just the unusual look of them. I think I could have got $2 for a melon, and I could have had, I'd say, $150 in melons just out of this one bed right here. Now the cucumbers, I need help. Prolific growers, or the ones that I had, prolific growers, but man, they just started getting eaten up by aphids. So nothing out of there. So let's just say we've got here, there, here. So there's what? Let's just say $1,200. In that bed, right in front of the chicken coop, you can see where I've got some winter rye coming up. And I learned a lesson in winter rye this year too. So, but this bed right here, I had all okra, and I estimate, again, this is just a conservative conservative estimate. So I had I had 4 rows of, I don't know, 18, 20 feet. So I had 4 rows here, and I estimate that each plant had about $4 worth of okra on it. And so again, conservative estimate, let's just say $300. $300 in okra right here, and that lasted from probably June to August. So there's, what did we come out to be? $1,600, something like that. So if you didn't eat all of your produce out of your garden, I think, estimate, this is what I would have pulled out, about $1,500, $1,600 at a farmer's market. Now, the big garden this is a brand new garden, brand new, back to Eden, so I have no idea how it's going to do. This fall I planted some what all did I plant here? Kale and lettuce and mustard greens, and they did fairly well. But I'm estimating that I'll have 6 rows, and each row is 70 foot. So my plan is this garden will be just for a farmer's market. That garden will be just for us to eat. So I'm thinking, and again, I'm trying to be conservative. This, I may, depending on the harvest, I may pull about $3,000 out of here. So, all in all, let's just say this garden and the smaller garden, we pull out $5,000 worth of produce. That's not bad. Again, it's during a small, condensed, maybe 3-4 month time frame. But gardening can pay for itself. Now, this is in a metro area. If you're in a rural area, these numbers are going to be completely different, I'm sure, because a lot of people have gardens, a lot of people have chickens, stuff like that. Whereas the city slickers here, it's a cool deal to go to a farmer's market and have somebody tell you, hey, this is grown organic. Oh yeah, I'll pay you double. So this is in an urban area that I think these numbers I think are accurate. Now this bed, I may not be able to pull out $3,000. That's just I'm guessing. Back over there, I think that's a pretty conservative guesstimate. So if you do have the extra space and you need some money, I think easily you could pull out a couple, $2,000-$3,000 over a season. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope it's conservative, and I hope it's right on. But I hope it helps. And again, hope all's well. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Bye.